The forgotten secret of attraction. Have you ever noticed how some men barely speak a word, yet women remember them for years, while others talk endlessly and leave no trace? The difference isn't luck, it's not looks. It's the questions they ask, not shallow small talk, not surface chatter, but questions that reach deeper, questions that spark emotion, laughter, and trust. Today, I'll reveal 15 of these powerful questions. Questions that act like psychological keys, unlocking her imagination and making her connect you with deep feelings. And pay attention, because number 8 changes everything. Question 1. What makes you feel truly fulfilled? This isn't about what she does for work or the hobbies that fill her free time. It goes far deeper than surface activities. It's an entry into her soul, a question that forces her to pause and search within. When you ask what makes her feel fulfilled, you're really asking her to open up and reveal what gives her life meaning, what makes existence feel worth living. If she says helping people, you glimpse her compassion and the quiet kindness that drives her actions. If she says success, you see the ambition, discipline, and fire that push her forward in life. If she says freedom and adventure, you feel her restless hunger for intensity, growth, and experiences that shatter routine. Here's the hidden secret. When she answers, she isn't just giving you words, she's handing over her emotional blueprint. She's unconsciously revealing her values, her desires, and the silent forces shaping every choice she makes. Most men never even think to ask this, but the man who does immediately separates himself. Because once she realizes you truly see what fuels her spirit, you stop being ordinary. You become unforgettable. The rare man who touched the depths she hides from the rest of the world. Question 2. What attracts you most in a man? Most men assume the answer is simple: looks, money, muscles. But real attraction often hides in the unseen, in the things you can't measure on paper. Confidence, presence, humor, emotional control, or the quiet strength of a man who knows who he is. When you ask her this, you flip the script. Usually, she judges silently, building her opinions in her mind. But when you invite her to speak it out loud, something powerful happens. She gives voice to her deepest criteria. And once she says it, her own brain reinforces it, making those qualities feel even more important to her. Here's the trick most men miss. Don't jump in with ego and say, "That's me." Don't brag or try to sell yourself. Instead, live it naturally. If she says confidence, show it by holding your frame calmly. If she says humor, spark laughter effortlessly. If she says intelligence, lead with depth and clarity, not arrogance. Because the magic lies here. When she discovers those traits in you on her own, the effect is 10 times stronger. You stop being a man chasing validation. You become the embodiment of her own desire. Question 3. What bothers you most in a man? Most men avoid this question out of fear, but this is where the gold lies. Because when she answers, she isn't just talking about pet peeves, she's revealing the hidden landmines that kill her attraction. She's handing you the map of what not to be. If she says insecurity, you instantly know self-doubt drained her in the past, and she craves stability. If she says arrogance, you see that she longs for confidence balanced with humility. If she says laziness, you understand that drive and ambition are the qualities she deeply respects. Every answer she gives is a clue, shaped by her past experiences and disappointments. Those wounds wrote her rules. And the man who listens carefully doesn't just learn about her, he learns the blueprint of what she will never tolerate again. Here's the key. Your job isn't to debate, defend, or argue. Just nod, absorb, and respect her truth. Attraction isn't only built by adding the right qualities, it's just as much about protecting the bond by avoiding the wrong ones. When you show her that you understand this, you rise above the mistakes of every man who failed before. Question 4. Who was your first love as a child? This question unlocks something few men ever dare to touch: nostalgia. Childhood love isn't logical, it isn't calculated. It's raw intensity, the kind of pure emotion that leaves a mark even if it lasted only a moment. When she goes back there in her memory, She isn't just remembering someone, she's revisiting the most unfiltered version of herself. As she recalls it, you're not only speaking to the woman she has become, you're glimpsing the girl she once was. The innocent side, the vulnerable side, the part of her that loved without fear, without strategy, without hesitation. Don't rush her here. Let her relive it fully. Listen as she paints the scene, then guide her deeper with gentle questions. What made that person special to you? Or, do you think the way you love has changed since then? This is where the shift happens. Suddenly, you're not just another man making surface-level small talk. You're the rare man guiding her into her own forgotten world, a world where her walls fall away and her true self steps forward. Question 5. When you were a kid, how did you imagine your life as an adult? This question pulls her back to a time before fear, before limits, before society told her what was realistic. Back to the purest version of her dreams. Maybe she imagined herself singing on a stage, maybe traveling the world, maybe building a family, or maybe simply living free. Childhood dreams are untouched by doubt. They're windows into the truest self. When she answers, you're not just hearing random memories. You're being shown who she really is, what she secretly values, and how her soul once pictured happiness. The gap between her childhood vision and her current reality reveals a story of choices, struggles, sacrifices, and the silent negotiations she's made with life. This is where you guide her deeper. Ask gently, why do you think you dreamed that? Or, do you still want it in some way? These questions make her pause, reflect, maybe laugh at her innocence, or even feel a rush of emotion. And here's the magic. Most men never take her to this place. But the man who does creates a bond that cuts deeper than attraction. He becomes the rare one who helps her reconnect with the forgotten girl she once was. Question 6. What's your guilty pleasure? This question instantly shifts the mood. It creates laughter, playfulness, and intimacy all at once. Everyone has something they secretly indulge in, something they wouldn't announce to the world, but that makes them feel comforted or alive. Maybe it's late-night chocolate she swears she'll stop eating. Maybe it's binge-watching silly TV shows, scrolling endlessly through memes, or replaying the same cheesy song 100 times. Whatever it is, this is her unfiltered humanity showing itself. The secret here is how you respond. Don't mock it, don't judge. Lean in with genuine curiosity. Tease her lightly, but always in a way that makes her feel accepted, not exposed. Because this isn't about the guilty pleasure itself, it's about the vulnerability behind it. When a woman feels safe sharing her quirks, her imperfections, her little secrets, she begins opening the door to her real self. And that's where the shift happens. Most men only see the polished, guarded version of her. But the man who sees the playful, quirky, imperfect side, the man who makes her feel safe in that, becomes unforgettable. Question 7. What was your favorite toy as a child? On the surface, this sounds simple, but it isn't really about the toy. It's about memory. When she recalls her favorite toy, she's not just talking about an object, she's revisiting a time of innocence, safety, and pure joy. That toy carries the energy of childhood wonder, the version of herself untouched by fear, responsibility, or heartbreak. As she describes it, watch closely. Her voice softens, her eyes brighten, and without even realizing it, she begins to relive the happiness tied to those moments. And here's the hidden magic. The emotions she feels in that memory, warmth, comfort, excitement, become connected to you, the man guiding her there. Most men never ask questions like this. They stay on the surface, stuck in predictable conversations that fade and vanish. But you reach deeper. You invited her into her own forgotten world, where laughter was easy and love was simple. That's why this question matters. Because the man who can awaken her inner child isn't just memorable, he's unforgettable. Question 8. What's the dumbest thing you've ever done? This is the breakthrough moment. Most people walk around carefully polished, trying to look perfect. But when you ask this question, you invite her to laugh at herself, to drop the mask, and to show you the unpolished human side that she normally hides. Maybe she'll tell you about spilling coffee on herself before an important meeting, or sending an embarrassing text to the wrong person. Maybe she'll share a reckless adventure, something wild, impulsive, and totally illogical. Whatever it is, it creates laughter. And laughter is powerful because it lowers defenses faster than anything else. Here's your role. Don't laugh at her, laugh with her, make it playful, light, and safe. And then share one of your own dumb moments. Because when you reveal your imperfections too, it transforms the energy from confession into connection. This is where the bond deepens. She realizes you're not trying to impress her by being flawless. You're showing her you're human. And paradoxically, that's what makes you magnetic. Question 9. If you woke up anywhere in the world tomorrow, where would it be? At first, this sounds like a simple travel question, but it's much more than geography. It's about dreams, desires, and the secret places her soul longs to escape to. If she says Paris, it's not just about the city. It's about romance, elegance, and the beauty of being swept away. If she says a quiet beach, it speaks to her hunger for peace, freedom, and the serenity of slowing down. If she says a city like New York, you glimpse her ambition, her craving for intensity, for the energy of endless possibilities. Her answer is a mirror of who she is beneath the surface. You're not just hearing about locations, you're uncovering what she yearns for when no one is watching. And here's where the magic happens. When you respond with a touch of mystery, something as simple as, interesting, maybe I'd wake up there too. Her imagination does the rest. Without even realizing it, she begins to picture you inside that dream. She sees not just the place, but the possibility of sharing it with you. Most men talk about places they've been. You, on the other hand, awaken her inner world. Question 10. What do people usually misunderstand about you? This question cuts straight through the mask she shows the world. Most people judge quickly, assuming they know who she is based on appearances, roles, or surface impressions. But when you ask this, you give her something rare. You give her permission to be seen beyond the stereotype. Maybe people think she's strong and unshakable, when in reality, she's sensitive and feels everything deeply. Maybe people see her as cold or distant, when in truth she has a heart that loves fiercely but carefully. Maybe they assume she's confident, when in reality, she's still carrying silent insecurities no one ever notices. Whatever her answer, your role is simple. Listen with full presence, validate, and respect it. Don't joke, don't dismiss. Instead, say something like, I believe you. I can already tell there's more to you than people usually see. That single moment of recognition changes everything, because most men only see what's obvious. But you become the man who notices what others miss, the man who saw her truth when the rest of the world only saw her mask. And she'll never forget that. Question 11. When was the last time you lost control but enjoyed it? This question doesn't just spark conversation, it stirs something raw inside her. Most of her life is lived in control. She manages responsibilities, appearances, and the roles people expect her to play. But when you ask this, you invite her back into the rare moments when she let go, when she surrendered to intensity. Maybe she remembers dancing until sunrise, losing herself in music and forgetting the world. Maybe she recalls diving into the ocean without hesitation, feeling wild and alive. Or maybe it was something small but powerful, laughing until her stomach hurt, crying freely, or saying yes to something reckless. Here's your role. Don't rush her. Don't interrupt. Just hold steady eye contact and let the silence do its work. Because silence, paired with presence, deepens her memory and amplifies the emotion. And here's the hidden magic. When she relives that feeling of surrender, a subtle thought takes root in her mind. What would it feel like to lose control around him? That's where attraction moves beyond logic into something unforgettable. Question 12. If your life was a movie, what would the title be? This question is more than playful. It's a mirror. It reveals how she sees herself and the lens through which she interprets her own story. Some women will answer with humor, making light of their life's chaos. Others will answer with strength, choosing a title that reflects resilience. And some will reveal struggle, giving you a glimpse into the battles that shaped them. Whatever her response, don't just nod. Lean into it. Listen closely, because her answer shows how she wants her journey to be remembered. It's her self-image condensed into a single phrase. Now, here's where you add the twist. Smile and say softly, "Interesting. But my title for you would be different. I'll tell you later." That single line changes everything. It creates tension, mystery, and curiosity. She'll start wondering what you see in her, how your perception might differ from her own. And curiosity is one of the strongest fuels for attraction. Because once her mind starts circling back to you, her emotions follow. Question 13. If you could erase one memory but relive another forever, what would they be? This question is like opening two hidden doors at once, one into her scars and one into her greatest joys. Most people never ask this because it requires courage to touch both pain and beauty in the same breath. But when you do, you invite her to show you the moments that shaped her most deeply. If she chooses a memory to erase, she reveals her wounds, the betrayals, heartbreaks, or regrets she still carries. If she chooses a memory to relive forever, she reveals her purest joy, the times when she felt alive, free, or loved beyond words. Together, these answers form the blueprint of her soul, what hurt her and what heals her. Your role here is not to fix, correct, or analyze, just listen. Hold eye contact, let her speak without interruption, and then ask softly, "Why do you think that moment means so much to you?" That gentle follow-up takes her deeper, turning her memory into reflection. And here's the powerful part. When she shares both her pain and her joy in your presence, her mind starts linking those emotions to you. You become the man who witnessed her truth, the safe space where her shadows and her light were both welcomed. And that kind of bond is unforgettable. Question 14. What's the craziest thing you've ever done? This question lights a spark the moment you ask it. It pulls her back into memories of thrill, freedom, and adrenaline. The moments when she broke the rules, ignored the risks, and let pure excitement take over. Maybe it was sneaking into a concert, cliff jumping, traveling without a plan, or saying yes to something completely reckless. Whatever her story, as she tells it, her energy shifts. Her eyes glow brighter, her body language becomes animated, and she relives that rush in front of you. But here's the secret. Don't just smile and move on once she finishes. This is where you deepen the moment. Lean in slightly and ask, "Would you do it again?" That single question flips the memory into possibility. It plants the seed of adventure in her mind, and suddenly she's not just reliving her past, she's imagining her future. And here's where you become unforgettable. Because as she thinks about doing it again, her imagination naturally pulls you into the picture. You're no longer just a listener. You're the man standing beside her in that next wild, unforgettable adventure. Question 15. What's the biggest lesson you've learned about relationships? This question goes straight to the heart. It's not small talk, it's an invitation for her to reveal her truth. Everyone carries scars, and everyone carries wisdom from love gained and love lost. When you ask this, you're asking her to open the book of her past and show you the chapter that shaped her most. Maybe she says trust, because someone broke it and she never forgot the pain. Maybe she says communication, because silence once destroyed something she cared about. Maybe she says independence, because she learned not to lose herself in trying to please someone else. Whatever her answer, don't treat it like casual advice. Listen as if she's giving you a piece of her soul. Because in that moment, she's not just talking about relationships, she's revealing the story of her life. The heartbreaks, the victories, the lessons written in her own blood and hope. And here's the secret. Most men only hear the words, but the man who truly listens, the man who respects the weight behind those words, becomes unforgettable. Because she'll always remember the one who didn't just talk, but witnessed her truth. Final words. Now you see why questions carry far more power than compliments. Compliments are pleasant, sure, they can make someone smile for a moment. But they vanish almost instantly, forgotten as quickly as they're spoken. Questions, on the other hand, stay alive. The right question doesn't just spark conversation, it lingers in the mind. It plants curiosity, creates emotion, and builds a memory that refuses to fade. More than anything, it makes her feel something most men never give her: the experience of being truly seen. Most men will never understand this. They keep talking endlessly, telling story after story, piling on jokes, trying desperately to entertain, to impress, to prove their worth. But their words blur together, forgotten like noise in a crowded room. You, however, are different. If you've made it this far, it means you've chosen another path. You've chosen the path of quiet influence, the rarest, most magnetic kind of power. Because real influence isn't about being the loudest voice or the flashiest presence. Real influence is subtle. It's about asking in a way that makes her reveal what she doesn't tell anyone else. It's about listening so deeply, so intentionally, that she cannot forget the way you made her feel in that moment. So here's my test for you. Drop the word "awakened" in the comments below. That's how I'll know you stayed until the very end, that you're not like the masses who skim and scroll, but one of the rare few ready to rise above them. If this resonated, like the video, subscribe for more psychological strategies that most men will never hear, let alone apply. And never forget this final truth. Questions are the opening move, but you, your presence, your patience, your depth, you are the checkmate.